Cool, we're about to go live. For those of you just joining, let us know your favorite candy in the chat. And for those of you watching the recording, let us know your favorite candy in the comments or the live chat as well. Cool, we are live. Welcome everyone. We're super excited to have Carla here showing us how to build an app with no code using Bravo and Figma. We had Bravo on for a wonderful workshop a few months ago and with Adobe XD, but a bunch of you requested to do one in Figma. So now we're here with another fun design challenge to go along with that. And before we get started, I'm going to quickly introduce Design Buddies in case you're new and some really quick house rules to set some norms we have here. So I'm going to quickly share my screen. This will be super quick. I'm sure you've probably seen it if you went to a bunch of Design Buddies events, see a lot of familiar faces in here. And so welcome, I'm Grace. I founded Design Buddies in April of 2020, and we have kind of grew to where we are today. And I'm here with Nabil, our friendly moderator and admin team, who will be helping us out, drop links in the chat and making sure that everything goes smoothly as well. So thank you, Nabil, for helping out. And Design Buddies, we really just a wholesome, really big design community where any designer, anyone interested in design can connect. You don't have to be a designer. Anyone just interested is welcome to join and access our resources. We host a ton of free workshops like this, design challenges, panels, and even more goodies for y'all. And feel free to connect with us on any of our social media platforms and also at any point of the event. If you find something that really resonates with you, definitely post on socials, tag us, tag Carla, tag Design Buddies in Bravo, and we'll reshare them as well. And so for just some quick house rules, events are recorded, and this is so our buddies from different time zones can access. If you don't wish to be recorded, you can search Design Buddies on YouTube because we're live streaming there. Sorry, it's a waiting room UI. And feel free to engage people. Feel free to just chime in the chat. It's there for you to like make any commentary throughout the event as well. And also we'll have a networking sheet later dropping in the chat as well. We really want to encourage buddies to connect with Carla, connect with each other, and send each other a personalized invite saying that you met on this event on LinkedIn and get those like networking game on. We won't have a Slido because it's a workshop format, but feel free to drop any questions in the chat live. During the workshop, Carla will be checking and answering your questions. We also have some Zoom backgrounds that Nabil will be dropping in the chat where you can use for our group selfie later on. And this is just for fun, just so capture for our time here together because we're not in person. And yeah, just connect with each other. Feel free to hop into Discord and have fun. So I'm gonna stop sharing. And yeah, we're excited to have you here, Carla, today. And so with that, I'll hand it over to you, Carla.
I am so excited to be here with you guys today. Like, oh my God, more than 125 people here, and I am blessed by your company. Thank you very much for coming in. And I am really, really excited to go step by step on doing a little blog app using Bravo today, using the resource from Design Buddies. I really thought of it before, like I didn't do anything, so I am doing it live with you guys. And please, if you have any questions, just put it on the chat. I'm sure Grace and Nabil will be helping me with the questions when I am going through the process, but I want to tell you a little bit about myself. So I am a designer, UX, UI, and digital product designer. I have been working with designer for more than 25 years, and I am also a mentor. I even have some of my students here. I can see some familiar faces. I'm really glad to see you guys here. Thank you very much for everyone to come in. Like some of you guys already connect with me through LinkedIn. If you feel like, just do it too. Like a tweet. My Twitter is Carla Fernandez, and on tweet and on LinkedIn, you can find me under Vitamina K. So without further ado, let's start. I will share my screen and you just please let me know if you can see everything fine.
Yeah, it looks great.
Good. So here we have a Bravo Studio. If you haven't downloaded it yet, you can just come here, create your account for free. I will start with Figma. So as I told you, I don't have anything, I just got the Design Buddies logo here, and I will go through the process with you guys. So in Bravo, we do have a Bravo master tag list that it's what we use today to build our app, but I will also just show you that this Bravo master tag list is also inside Figma. So thinking of Figma, I hope you all guys are kind of know it a little bit. Let me know if some of you don't have any idea what Figma is. So what I do here now is to create a new frame, and I get the iPhone 11 Pro size here, that this is the size. I will name this. Tell me if I am also being too quick, okay? So I will name this as a blog, like a blog list. Oh, I'm having some trouble here with my, okay, blog list. And then you create a new one that will be the blog post. I will also have an icon, because I think icons are always very cool, that will be a 512 by a 512 here. And I will also name this as icon. So I think that's really easy for everyone, just to create frames and put names on it. So we just have that. Okay, I will also add another one that will be a loading screen. And even though this is not 2 pages, those two here, icon and loading, are more for aesthetics than like some assets for aesthetics than really the app itself. So the icon, I will use the brand like from Design Buddies here. That's pink, it's cute, it's inside here. The loading, I will also just put this brand here. I'm just resizing it and putting it inside. And I will also create a new frame that will contain this brand inside, that I will call container. If you know Bravo, you know that everything that you add inside a frame, like the second layer, it's really a container frame. So here we get a container, and I will also put pink on it. So just to have it central, and that's simple as this. So I will show you one plugin that's called Bravo Studio Tag Manager. This is so cool of a plugin, because you have all these tags from the Bravo Studio website inside this plugin. So when you are running into Figma and you remember the name of the tag, more or less, you can just come here. If you don't know them, you can read them to this website and search for them, and also putting them manually. Like let's say, for example, the icon. If I search here for icon, there is here the app icon, and the app icon has asset icon. So I could just click on this and update tag. That's it. Or let's say I will remove this and I don't have that installed, so I will just do the same. Asset 2 points icon. I think that's clear enough. If you guys have any questions, just please let me know. So loading screen, I will just search for loading.
Oh, here. Carla, we have a quick question. How do we find the Notion link that you shared on screen?
Oh, so you can come to Bravo, and here you have a bunch of links. So you have an academy, and here on the academy you have videos, you have tutorials, you have Y-Kits, you have sample apps, and here on the dashboard of the academy you have the Start Bravo Rising, that I think, if I'm not wrong, that you get to the link here for the Bravo text master list, and then you can open it. But I can also just quickly copy and paste on the chat for you all to have.
Awesome, thank you. And just some quick feedback. Could we go a tiny bit slower for our audience members?
Oh yes, sure. Sorry, guys.
No worries.
So loading is like you have here two loading. You have audio loading and state loading. So state loading is like the animation you see when there is something loading in this app. So that's really what we want to use, and we are using it here. So I will just click and update the tags. You can really see on the master here, I will just search for loading for you to see. So load indicator is not this one. So we have here state loading. It's a top level app page, which what that means is that it should be on the first frame of the page. So the frame that has the size of your phone. And then you also have some documentation that when you click for each of the tags, right now Bravo has more than 120, they have simple comments. So this is the loading. So they have here a little animation. We could use Lottie files, for example, and search for a little bunny. Like let's say you have the plugin for Lottie files. So we would go to Lottie files here, and then you could search for bunny. And then when you search for bunny, if you like any, let's say that there is one that, oh, this one fits. Let's see, this is cute too. A lot of cute ones. So we could search and just decide by one. So this one, I think it could fit. What do you think, Grace?
Yeah, I like, there's a lot of great ones here.
The one with the pink, or
yeah, maybe the one,
this one?
yeah,
Yeah?
that works too. Yeah, the pink, yeah, it matches our color. It's wholesome.
Yeah, it does. So here, what we can do in the case of Lottie files is that we can change the background to have a background that it's transparent. So we just put it here, transparent. So it just adds 2 zeros after the FFF, that means white. And then we can say that we want to add it. So we can just convert as a gift. And if you convert this step by step, it can take a while. And then we can insert here inside the loading screen. And after that, we can change the background. Maybe since there is a pink balloon, we can change for the gray that it's used in the brand. And every time that our app, you display a loading, this will be the loading that you happen. Like for example, when you are touching on the blog list, or the blog list is loading, or the blog post is loading, this animation will be shown. Or at least I hope. So let's wait a little bit because this can take a little while. So in the case of Lottie, the good thing here is that you come with a Bravo tag. If we come here to Bravo master tag list, you can see that there is a tag for Lottie that's called component 2 points Lottie 2 points Lottie JSON URL. So this URL, so now we are adding it to Figma. You see it's here. Then I add here inside the loading container. I turn this off, and I just make it central. And now since there is this pink there, I will just change the color of the background to maybe a grayish kind, maybe a bit lighter because that's too kind of dark. So just to match a little bit, right? So we have a loading screen it's blue, but you can see here on Figma that now we have that same structure that we need in Bravo, like a component, Lottie, and this is the URL from the JSON file on Lottie. So this means it works. So now we have a blog list and a blog post. And how we do those? We create a little list of blog posts from Medium. So what we can do here is to, let's say, I don't want to think too much about design here. Later on, we can make it very beautiful. So let's just think of terms of a content. So we have an, let's say, a title. Then we have maybe a description. And then we have an image, right? I like to always add, like this rectangle, for example, has just a fill. So I will change from the fill from an image. I could add an image here, but I don't need it. It can be just like these two. It just means that it represents an image. And here on the title, since later on we get this from a database, I will also rename to title, and I will also rename it to description. And I add those little asterisks on the side because I will bind these with data that comes from Airtable later on for you guys to see how to do that. So I will add this inside a frame, and what this will be a list. What is a list? A list is also a container. I'm wrong, I wrote wrong here. This is also a container. And this container will be repeated as much as I have blog posts in this list on Airtable. So here I have my blog list, and here I have my blog post. The blog post has the same container, right? So I just copy and paste here. I just will remove here the list because this will be a post. And from the post, I don't want it to repeat several times. I just want it to display differently. Let's say that I have then my title under and my image bigger, like this, for example. There are a few tags that I think Bravo really makes very exciting about, you know, for it to look more like a phone. Okay, here is Lodify. So you get the one for tag manager that you be like this is a blog list, right? But we are going to add this status bar from the phone, you know, that has the time and so on. So you can just search for status bar. And here I will put dark because it's on top of white. So I will just update there. And these two, I will do the same. I will just add this status bar. And that's it. And here we have a container that repeats, and here I don't have one. So when you think about the status bar, you have to think that from iPhone perspective, you need to have an area that is 42 pixels up. And this space will be kind of reserved for that notch and also for the size. So what I like to do here is to create a container that you always stay on top, and this is called container top bar. So I will add the container here. I just add this rectangle that is gray inside, and then you add this container top bar. And this we can change later on, have some transition. For example, let's say we would add that this our app, you always have a pink background just to fit the, and then maybe the blog post, you fit the loading screen, for example. Oh, sorry, this is here. So just for us to have a colorful app. So here we could just do in the field, we could just use, for example, linear background and start from pink, that's here and under, and finish on pink too, but instead finishing on pink 100%, we put 0 because that's the transparent pink. We cannot see it, but if we change the background here to red, you can see that there is a degradé there. So this, you just make it look kind of cute later on. What happens then is that this, right now, after the container, so I just write here top bar or top, and then you copy these two also to the post, and you just change the color. So I could change this color here instead of this pink, that other blue that we have, and put 0. I am making it pretty already. I shouldn't, but still. Okay, so I could do this under too already, like have the image having this little shadow on top and so on. So I think it's pretty good for what we have already on Figma. What I would do here is just the prototype part for us to test it out in Bravo and see if it works. So from title here, from this container, I want that when user clicks here, that he goes here to this post. So what happens is that it created a flow, and I like to call that start. And when we want to go back, there is nothing here yet. So I use another plugin. You know, if you guys know Figma, you know that you just go to the community, you come here, you go to the community and you go browsing like with, for example, icon. And then you see a bunch of plugins that work with icons. I really like feather icons. So you can just install any plugin you want. So the one I use is feather icons, and you can see it's installed. So you can do that. I use feather icons here, and you get the back button. Feather icons. So I use this arrow here on the way back. Great. So this is quite a little bit small, so I like to put it a little bit bigger. So I put it 48 for 48. I could also just make it like outline stroke. so that this is now like a vector, and then I just can move it to the place I want it to be. So right now, like there on the top, it's really that area where like Apple uses, so the 42. So you should be really thinking about staying a little bit under it, because if not, you see that this you kind of cut on top of the container. So I have this, and I can also make this bigger just to have this arrow always visible, right? So we can test always and check it out. So here I just have a background. I like to go renaming my layers, and we have this structure, and the only thing that we have now, that we need now, is to get this arrow and come back to the page when we need. So this is a blog app, and I will rename it here, Design Buddies Blog. Great. I will save, and I will share. When I share, I will just copy this link here, and I will go to Bravo. So on Bravo, I will log in with my account. This account is actually new, so you see there is no projects there. And I will create a new project. When I create a new project, I will put my Figma link, and if we have any errors or if I have forgot anything, it will show me. Okay, so I might not be able to do this on this account. I'm sorry for that. So I will log in with Figma. And then now you see that I have actually a bunch of apps, because my both accounts have the same login, but this doesn't matter. So I'm going to projects now, and I am doing a new project, and then I am importing it. So when I am importing, you see that if I did forget anything in detail, it will come on a notification that should be here. Oh, sorry, here. So it seems everything works. For us to really see that working, I will actually share my phone. So I will put here on my phone. I will open Bravo, and I will stop share this screen, and I will share my phone now. Let's see. So there is an update there. You see already there is Design Buddies on the screen. And then when I open it, we are supposed to see the pink. Yes, it's here. And if I click, it is going to the blog post. You see the arrow there is not so well positioned, but that's really a question of testing, and we can change that later on. But if I click there, it goes. So from here to there, to here to there. That's great. Our app already works. So what I can do right now, let's resume share. Can you guys see my computer again?
You can still see your phone.
Still see my phone? Okay, so now I think now it's
yeah,
good.
it's good now.
Great. So now let's go for the fun part. The fun part now, we go to Airtable, and we get to Design Buddies Community, and we put real things here. So in the blog, I saw that you have already a bunch of posts. So I will get just 3 just for us to illustrate this. I will get these 3 here. I think it's really enough. So on Airtable, we will start a new base from 0. So I will start from scratch. Here, I will call it Design Buddies. I will make it pink just because it fits very well. Here. Oh, I cannot. Okay, I can use this pink, it's fine. And I probably won't find a rabbit here, but I will use this one. So it's totally fine. Great, we have our database. So I will name this here, this table, as blog. Or as, yes, or as post. Okay, blog's fine. I really like to remove this, rename this reel here, because I like to have the possibility to order all the items that come from Airtable in the order that I add them here. So I remove these records that are not used, and I change the first one for post ID. My post ID will be a formula. This is really not even used, but I really like to do this structure always. So record ID. What I do for this post will be a title that is like could be a long text, but could be also just a single line. So you add a single line just for you to have different types. I will move status here, and I will change this to description. Actually, I really like to do this to add all my titles in small letters, because this is kind of a variable. So, and in attachments, I will change this to image. So we have the same structure that we had on Figma file. So on Figma, we do have here title, description, and image. And here we have title, description, and image. So now I will just copy a little bit here. So I will be title. I will put the description as this. I could also add like the user and so this is really up to you guys afterwards how you want it to be displayed, okay? So I will save here on my desktop. The second one is the title here. Then I have description. You could also just copy the whole blog post. I'm just doing it in a small version, and later on we can iterate. So here we have the title. I just add the third one. This is great, and this here. And then now let's save the image of the second. So I'm saving this image in my desktop, and I will also save this image on my desktop. Great. So, and what I will do here, I will open my desktop and I will just drag and drop. So this is the image from, from the first. For some reason it doesn't want to go there, so I will try the opposite. So here, desktop, the first. So I will upload, and I will do that for the other two items. So I will click here. The second one, it was this one, I think. Great. And the third one was this one. If I'm not wrong, I will check it out here. So why? Yes. So we have the posts here. What we are going to do now is to connect our Airtable to Bravo. So I will get the share link here. I will skip this for now, and I will get the base, and I will also share it private really only. So this address here is the one that Bravo really wants you to get. So I will just copy this one, and I will come to Bravo, and I will go to data collections. I will create a new collection. I will use the Airtable wizard, and I will enter that URL here. It will request me the API key. So I am coming here, and I am coming to my account. In my account, you have this generate API key when you using it the first time. Like afterwards, you can always regenerate API keys. Since this is not the account I use for my products, it's totally fine to be visible, but this is not a key that you give to everybody. So I will put it here now and complete. And what this is going to do now is to get all the records from this table and put it here. So when we click, let's say in the blog list, and we hit send, you see that those are the fields that are inside my Airtable. And we don't need all of them. So I like to keep all the records. Yes, we have 3. So here it's 0, 1, 2. We have 3. We need all of them. The post ID I would like to keep there, the title too, the description, but image, you can see that what Airtable did was it created several sizes of the same image. So since our screen is limited by which that are 375, I really just think that we can use, for example, the smallest version, that is the large URL. So you just get the large URL, and the rest that is image, you just remove. I don't need those, and that data, you just cluttered my database here on Bravo. So I just unselect them, and then you see another thing. So here, when you go to selected data, we have the description, all the records, the title, the post ID, the post ID and the ID are the same thing. You can see here, they are the same thing. So you can remove post ID, for example, you could remove there or here. It works both. And then you have the image. So here in the image, I like to keep it as simple as possible. So since it's a variable, I like my variables to be like that, but that's up to you. I really like them simple. So I just have the image, the title, the description, all the records, and the ID. And for the detail page, yes?
We got a really, really quick question in the chat. Can people use Google Sheets for this or other alternatives to Airtable?
So yes, you can use other alternatives to Airtable. Like here, you can have some importers that are easier. You can also do your own API, and you could use Google Sheets, but you need something that turn that into an API. I forgot the name now, but I think it's like, yeah, I don't remember the name that turns, but there is a website that turns Google Sheet into an API that you could use. So you could use any API, like also other kinds of APIs. You don't need to create it yourself. Like, for example, we could create it with the API from Medium. We would just need to, yes, we could create that too. And here in blog ID, what happens is that this is selecting a record already. So it's coming the content from that record, and we just need the same. So we just need the large URL. So I just unclick or unselect the rest, and then keep the title, the description, like we did for our Figma file. And here you have the image ID, you don't need that. So you have the title, like if you go here, you see, actually, I can just keep the ID and turn off the post ID. So you have here, description, title, I like to delete the rest from image, and then you have the ID, right? So seems simple enough for you guys so far?
Yeah, I think that is great. Yeah.
So now let's do magic. And in magic, what I mean, like we are going to come here on the Design Buddies blog, and we are coming to blog list, and we are binding data. So this list was the item that would repeat every time, right? So I'm coming to my data on Design Buddies. I am going to select the list of items, and I am going to loop this through all the records I have on that list. And then I am selecting the image, the title, and the description. And you cannot imagine, like, is that really simple? Yes. And now let's show it. Let's check on my phone. This is supposed to work already. I pause a new share here and see. So on my phone, I am updating it with Bravo, and now it's supposed to come with real data from Airtable. And you see one thing, when I click the items, it's coming to the next section, but no, it's not there. So what's the thing that's missing here? It's simple. We need to also to do this to the other screen when we select. So here we come and do the same thing. So, but here we are having a detail page. So we change it to detail, and then we select the design bodies, detail, image, then title, then description. And now what's supposed to happen is that when we, let's get to my phone, I will update with Bravo. And then when we click, you see the animation we added there. So it's making the little animation and coming the new blog post. And you can see that I actually did something really wrong somewhere, because for some reason the title and the description are showing the same. And here, oh, I actually did copy paste wrong. Okay, so you see me. Now we can copy and paste the right thing here. So the description is actually this one here. And the best thing of this is that we don't even need to update anything else. Like as soon as we close and open the app on the phone, you see that this will update itself because it's coming direct from the database. So I don't need to rearrange anything in Bravo nor on my Figma file because it's already there. So can you see my phone? Because I cannot see it yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can see already that there is here guide and in my experience speaking, but you cannot see the whole content, right? And it doesn't look so good. You just really quickly just do some tweaks on the design for us to see this a little bit better, and then we can take some questions. But you saw already the complete app. So for title, what we can do is to make that title a little bit bigger, right? So like maybe 24, for example, maybe bold, and then we can do this here too. 24, bold. The other thing that we can do is that like a title can have more than one line. And for that, we have a tag. So we have here a container. We can put a title inside the container. We have the image we can put on the top, because the image could be just there forever. For example, we could just get a little bit of this container, make the image a little bit bigger, and have the content of the title and so coming down. So when you have this frame here, that's title, I will just add title, I will add container. I can add a tag that's called flexo. Actually, we have other here. So flexo tag that you allow this item to have more than one line, but you can just have one flexo tag by container. So we need to create several containers for that to work. So here you see flexo tag, and then we just add that. And this means that this tag here, that is title, that is inside title, the title is here, we can put it here, and the container should be a bit smaller for some reason. Yes, title, it's here. This here can have more than one line, and when it grows, it will grow also the container. So for the description, I would do the same, because the description can also have more than one line. So I will just update that. And since description now, it's really the only one inside that post container, this is totally fine. So we can just put a little bit more, maybe a 16, just to be easy to read, have it more on top, and also put it a bit smaller, the container itself. So we have here description, and here we have the title. Here we have the image on the top container. Here we have, and you see one other thing too that I want you to mention is that those containers are touching each other, so that you can see what is the space between them. So we fixed the blog page, and here on the container, you actually remove the description, and you change the title tag to be to have the flexo. So we have just the title and the image. That is very used. And here we don't need to, and when this grows more than here, the title, it will grow also the container. The image is not growing, but the container will grow. So this done, like our prototype still is the same. We can also change the place where the arrow is. So let's say I want to put it a little bit here, like this. Or I want you also to put maybe a color or a shadow just to make it visible. So I could have a shadow and use some color, like the pink color, for example, and have a shadow that makes this visible. So maybe 10 and 4, and then maybe 80%. So it doesn't really look like okay, so the drop shadow should be in the vector. Let's have this here. Okay, now it looks much better. So we can have 70, and this should be visible for everything, right? So we go back to Bravo and we update our project, and you see the difference, and you need to bind some of the items again, because I changed the structure. I added different containers. So we just check. We have a list of records and we have an image and a title. Everything seems fine here, so we don't need to change anything. And we come to the data binding, and here you can see, here is the image, here is the title, it's still bind, and here is the description. So it seems everything will work fine. And we go to our phones to check it out, because that's how we test everything. We come here to the phone, update with Bravo, and expect, yes. So now we have a little bit better construction. And then you can see that the image now it's bigger. You have a pink button on top, and you have all the content that we have added so far. If we want to add the whole thing, we could also add the whole thing, and we could even add HTML and so on. There are also tags that do that, like this is this item here. So I will just use Bravo to do that, and I will come back and click again, and you see that this is bigger now, because I have added content on the Airtable, even though I didn't show you. Now it will be some more paragraphs. And that's really it, guys. I really hope that it's an interesting example for you. Like, of course, in design terms, you could do so much here. It's really just about to play with Figma and see what is interesting or not for your own project. But simple like that, you could create an app for your blog, for example. So shall we go see some questions, see what you guys think, and was it too complicated?
Yeah, thank you so much. That was great. I see a lot of people in the chat watching later as well. So before we hop into questions, let's do a quick group photo. This is what I like to do at every Design Buddies events. We'll do a static one first, and then a wave for Instagram story. I've actually been doing a lot of Instagram stories throughout all of this as well. I tagged you, Carla, so you can probably see all of it, probably get a million notifications. But yeah, we'll wait a couple of seconds for people to turn the camera. And they'll also have some special Design Buddy Zoom backgrounds y'all can choose from and use in our lovely group photo as well. So I'll count down. We'll first do a static one and then a wave for Instagram story. This is something we like to do differently. We like to say hi and just be live together with the buddies on Instagram. And so, yeah, so I'll take a couple of photos and I will choose the one people look the best in. You know how it's all like, so... And feel free to like grab any object you want. Oh, where's my bunny? Oh, there's my bunny. I have Fluffle here with me, but y'all can bring any other thing you want as well. With that, I'll count down, and we'll have time for some Q&A towards the end as well. I'll try to do this quick. So, yeah, we have Fluffle here. Fluffle, say hi, Fluffle. Hello. Okay. Sorry, it's like I had a lot of coffee just now. All right, let's do a photo. All right, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Say fluffle. Fluffle. All right, cool. We can do a wave now for Instagram stories. So if you would just like dance, wave, dab, this is just for Instagram. All right. My phone lagged out a tiny bit. Ready, set, wave. Hello, buddies. We are at a wonderful workshop with Carla about how to build apps with no code using Bravo and Figma. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Make sure to check out the recording on our YouTube channel. Cool. Awesome. Let's hop into questions. Carla, did you want to just take some really quick in the chat too?
Oh, yeah, sure. Let's see.
Like, here's the first one. Jennifer asked, why do you choose Bravo? Like personal preferences, or how does like Bravo stand out amongst other no code tools?
I have tried several ones like Bubble, Glide apps. I don't even remember the name of them. Oh, AppGyver. But my reason to go for Bravo was that I am a designer, and how things look for me, it's really important. And Bravo is one of the tools, if not the only one still, that allows you to your app to look exactly how you want and don't have constraints on how you build things. So that's why I choose to go with Bravo.
Awesome, thank you. I forgot to mention before, but we actually have a design challenge on our Discord server. It's called Bravo
Sorry?
Design Challenge Figma. Oh, I forgot to mention before to the audience about our design challenge. Yeah, so everything, all the details are in that channel as well. And I'll read the question so people watching the recording can also know as well. Another quick question by J-Man is, how do we add in-app logic?
So that is like right now you cannot really add logic to Bravo. You can either do that on the side of the API. Inside the Airtable, you can create some logic too. You can also work around with it using some scripts if you are a developer or if you know a developer that could code that. Sometimes I really needed it, and I just created a script that handles the API and give myself the result in JSON as I wish. So it really, like for using Bravo, this is on their roadmap, but still not on. So if you want to do that, you either work with the API and do some work around or wait a little bit more, sadly.
Yeah, thank you. No worries. There's always fancy features coming soon. I saw it Bravo 3.0 drop recently too. Yeah.
So Mari asked if it does have to be a blog only. No, you can even do Instagram. Okay, you have this on the Bravo Studio YouTube channel, so you can check it out there too, that you could create posts that people engage with and add comments and so on. So you could do a more powerful app. I have created a course app too, that you see all the videos from the course and so on. That's also about no code, and it's coming up like to teach you step by step how to create a course app. So it doesn't need to be just a blog. It can be anything. Like I have projects that was, for example, one that was to teach you how to knot scarves. And it has 50 ways for you to knot your scarf step by step. I also did one now in 5 languages that's called 100 animals. So I have done for kids to play with, and they see the drawing, they see real pictures of the animal, and they can also hear the sound of the word and see the word written. So it's up to your own imagination and what you want to bring as a product. Like there are a bunch of things that you could do with Bravo.
Awesome, thank you. Another question by Alex is, can you talk about publishing an app in the App Store? I saw Bravo intro animation before the test app launch. Is there a way to remove it before publishing?
Yes, you can publish it. You can even add it to App Store and Google Play Store before and be on the like adding in some features and so on. So that course I'm talking about is exactly this. I also go through step by step, but you have to when you have, like, let me share my screen just to to show you guys where. So when you are in Bravo, if we would publish this, we would come here to Android and add the keys and so on, and then get the file to be published. So for the iOS, the same. So here you have a limitation of characters, but you could, for example, just put it smaller and you'd go from this. So here you have a guide from Android and also from Google, which you can use to guide you for publication. So you create some assets and stuff. So you, like I said, I have published 12 apps so far. You can totally install many of them that are free on your phone. And this is really for you to publish. It's not just to be on your phone for testing and so on. It's really for you to take a profit and create something and put it out there to the world.
Awesome, thank you. And the Bravo YouTube channel also has more tutorials as well. We have a question from Fergie from the live YouTube actually, and she asks, is the tag manager built into Figma? I know maybe people might have missed the plugin earlier, but maybe you could talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so that's a plugin. You just go to the community and install it. When you are on your Figma, you come to home and then you can just search here Bravo tags. And then you see that there is a plugin that's called Bravo Studio Tag Manager, and you can like it and you can install it. And as soon as you install it, you can use it in all the files that you have on Figma.
Awesome, thank you. I saw Alfred raised your hand. Feel free, let me make it so you can unmute. Feel free to unmute yourself if you want to ask your question.
Jayman asked, like adding a post view counter. You could also add a post view. You could also add like interactions and other things. It's just necessary that you add this to Airtable, see what would be the logic there, and sum it up this number, and it would update on Bravo.
Awesome. Alfred, do you want to ask your question?
Yeah, I'm Alfred from India. My question is, can we have a live interactivity with Bravo for gaming purpose? Is it possible?
Live interactivity. What exactly do you mean by that?
For example, I like to conduct a quiz competition for a short number, maybe local or it could go global depending on the concept of the gaming, and also award some prizes. And this I could also use for my promoting of my local region. For example, to know your own city. I see mostly the citizen, they hardly see their own places and they conk off, they kick the bucket. But because of different reasons, maybe senior citizen or disability problem, or maybe sickness, especially now we are into the COVID norm still. So if I could create some kind of a walkthrough of the city and also give them an option to participate by giving the feedback. Of course, at a given time zone, it cannot be 24/7, but I'll be declaring at this particular time, one can always come in and they share their views. And it could also be a kind of a broadcast of the local news, which is real time, maybe for short. So can I create this kind of app using Bravo and also integrate with some like famous app or thing like that, or maybe the designing app, 360-degree walkthrough, something like that. So I'd like to have your opinion.
So yes and no, I would say, like yes, you could have, for example, some tags like Webview that you could show or display content from another place. Like, for example, if it is an embed that works in some other server or so, you could do that. But I don't know what would be the limitations, and you would have to work on those, like how you open the view to the users, which users, how they come in, and how you integrate this. You would have to think through. Like I haven't seen anything done like this still, but yeah, some of that you could also reinvent or think of other alternatives to make the same kind of interaction less live or less intuitive, like okay, now it's time and so on. You could kind of think of those. But if you are using an external server to reproduce what you are doing live, I can see that you could use Webview, but this you should test to see if it's really good. And Bravo is free. You can definitely test that in the free version just on your phone and see if that's good enough for you.
Thank you, Karla. Thank you.
Okay, welcome.
Thank you. Anyone else have any quick questions? We have 2 more minutes left before we wrap things up. Going once, going twice. People have additional questions. Could they, maybe we could have a thread in the Discord channel where people can just like reach out to you on any of your preferred social media platforms?
Yeah, sure. Just do that. Like, add me on LinkedIn. Some of you guys already did that, and I love to hear what you think. Like, I saw that Mary G said that it was too fast for her, and I would say that makes me happy, because if it was fast for you, you can see that this is so fast to build too, and that sometimes you take so long time to put an idea out there in the world, and that people don't get to see. So now you can test it out and put it there and check it out and then iterate. So if it was fast for you, I'm sure when you rewatch it, you can do the step-by-step too. If you guys want, I can also just put this file on the Figma community where you can download later on and also have the data and play with it with your own design and so on.
Awesome, thank you so much. And I saw Jennifer said, I'm an owl. Can you post the links to the tools used? Yes, we can send it via the email that y'all signed up on Luma with the recording as well. And also in our Discord channel, just Discord@design, but you can Google it. And we can also post more in that channel. We have a specific channel for our design challenge, and we will compile all the links so y'all can have everything in one place in your email and on Discord as well, wherever you preference. Jamie asked, what happens if we cancel Bravo subscription after publishing the app? Oh, no worries.
So you can have you can publish it on the free version too. The only limitation is just some of the tags or some of the things, like for example action remote and call outs and stuff may not work. So there are some features that you work just on the paid version, but definitely you could also just publish your app using the free version.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Is there any last minute tips, Carla, that you'd like to give our buddies today before we wrap things up?
Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'm really looking forward to see the results from this design challenge. I myself check it out with people from Bravo Studio and see what are the 3 guys that or girls or everyone that really made it happen, and I'm looking forward to see that. If you have any doubts, be sure also to be part of the circle community from Bravo. Like there you can also put your questions and check the Bravo website and resources, and anything you can also tag me on Twitter and LinkedIn.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Carla. That was wonderful. A lot of buddies also really enjoyed it. And if you happen to publish your app, definitely share your progress or share your projects on Discord. If you actually publish your app, we have a self-promo channel where you can promote it and share it with our buddies as well. So just want to support y'all in your design, entrepreneurial development, maker journey as well. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone, for coming. I'm going to stop live streaming on YouTube, but we'll send out all the info via email and on Discord. So that's where you'll find all the info you'll need to build wonderful apps. And our theme for the challenge is autumn. So definitely feel free to create anything. It doesn't have to be a blog. It could be anything related to fall. And yeah, we'll just want if you add some bunnies to it as well. We want to see that. We tend to repost a lot of Fluffle artwork on our social media. So we love that as well. And definitely just reach out if you want to learn more about Fluffle or our friendly bunny mascot. Yes, so I'm gonna stop recording on YouTube. So bye, YouTube. Bye.